What's up? My name is Tyler Washington, and I chose this topic because back when black sitcoms were popular, it gave the black audience something to look up to. In today's time, the black audience has a fair share of negative influences due to reality shows. Due to the way that society is set up, I know this topic needed to be placed on a pedestal. While watching this video, you'll notice the major impacts black sitcoms had on these individuals due to the way people dress, the decisions they made, topics addressed in the community, and many more.
Hello, my name is Nicholas Beer, and I work for Chatham County Government. I'm the video producer for Channel 16. Channel 16 is what we call a PEG channel, which means Public, Educational, and Government Information. My favorite sitcoms watching growing up, I would say, things like Good Time. Of course, a lot of people will immediately bring up The Cosby Show, which was also one of my favorite shows also. Most of your sitcoms from the 90s, such as Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Your Family Matters. I would definitely say watching these sitcoms were an influence for me. Obviously, seeing someone that looked like me, have similar complexion to me, especially when you know the history of this company, if you've ever experienced racism or anything, to see someone that resembles you exceed at such a high level, it does influence you. It lets you know that anything is possible, and that yes, we all have to go through the struggles, and we all have to experience some of the not so good things about America, particularly when it comes to race. But just being able to turn on the television and for 30 minutes see somebody that looks like you on such a national platform, even when they're not on the show, just seeing them at the award ceremony and receiving praise and recognition and accolades for their performance, it inspires you that you can achieve the highest level that you want to achieve in this country.
Say, what do you mean, not our type? Well, Carlton is not like you and me. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't know what you're saying.
It taught me that I could be whatever I wanted to be, that I could do whatever I wanted to do, even in a field where most people, if you say, I want to go into the film industry or the video industry, most people would say, okay, that's a pipe dream, that's never going to happen. You need to come back down to earth, be more realistic. Ladies that I had the biggest crush on, that would be a tough one. I would say Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Tatiana Ali. A lot of guys my age probably had a crush on Tatiana Ali. Of course, I would say when that show first came out in the 90s, that would make me around 10 or 11, and she was about the same age. So then, of course, it was just an innocent crush.
Hey, you're going to check out Cat Williams live at the Civic Center this Saturday. Turn up.
Okay, hey.
All right, my name is Kenya Kabine. I'm the Assistant Program Director and On-Air Talent for E93 Cumulus Media here in Savannah, Georgia. And I have over 20 years experience in the radio industry. Favorite sitcoms growing up, definitely The Cosby Show, A Different World, Family Matters, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Good Times, My Wife and My Kids. Oh, man. Martin, of course. Martin, in my opinion, was the greatest sitcom of all time. Okay, let me tell you, definitely I was influenced by watching shows like The Cosby Show because, first of all, I was thinking to myself, man, if I could be like Theo Huxtable and, be an articulate, cool brother, that was my thing. But then I was also influenced by watching A Different World. If it weren't for A Different World, I don't think I wouldn't have attended a historically black college, university.
Grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. It doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color.
All black sitcoms are going to tap into what's happening culturally in society for that time period. So back in the 90s, it was Martin and they were wearing the colorful cross colors and Carl Kanai and stuff that was really big in the 90s. I'm trying to think of like sitcoms now. Blackish, that's another great show. And Blackish is mirroring how we dress as African Americans now with the, cool sweaters. The father's always rocking some dope Nikes, dope shoes or something like that. Daughter, she's fashionably fresh all the time. So yeah, definitely. Favorite characters. Martin, one of my favorite characters of all time from the hit series from back in the day. Anything that Martin did was hilarious. So I like all of the characters on Martin, whether it's Gina, whether it's the characters that he plays, Shanae. Like these were just like characters that stand out in my head. I love the characters from A Different World. Whitley Gilbert, Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade was like, you know, that brother that's, you know, struggling to do right, make good grades, but he was a smart and intellect brother too. He's very intelligent.
Experience, I've been in the industry for 35 plus years. I've been a director of photography, camera operator, gaffer, and most recently I've been working as a studio teacher in the film industry. One of my favorite shows right now is Blackish because it gives a very light look at a very serious subject for the most part. And it's well written and it's incredibly well acted, and I think it's the best thing on television. And that, I like the fact that it gives us insights into a culture that white people don't really understand a lot of the time.
There's a time and a place to be irresponsible. Jury duty, local elections, and parent-teacher conferences.
To use Blackish as an example, it definitely addresses issues in the community. Every episode, you know, they're dealing with something that is important not just to black people, but to everyone, but from a Afro-American centric perspective, which makes it a unique perspective.
Wake up! Let's say they listen to the cops and get in the car. Look what happened to Freddie Gray.
Yeah, and what if they make it all the way to the station? You remember Sandra Bland?
Growing up, I watched Cosby Show a lot. And, you know, I think the big takeaway for somebody like myself is that everybody's just the same. You know, no matter what color you are, you have the same challenges, you have the same loves and desires, you have the same hopes for your children. And we're really not that different. I'm going to sound like a pervert, but I had a real crush on Lisa Bonet. What can I say? She's gorgeous. Still is.
What's going on, man? My name is Joshua P. McCray. I'm the owner of Off the Wave, and what we specialize here is vintage clothing and streetwear. Watching Fresh Prince was probably one of my biggest influences. Kind of stuff he used to wear, the sneakers, the whole nine. The same thing with Martin. Also watching the Wayans brothers growing up, like watching their sneakers and how they were and different things like that. One of my favorite episodes on Fresh Prince is when his dad came back, and his dad had been like a deadbeat the whole time. You know, it really spoke on like how in the black community we have a lot of absentee fathers. So I thought that definitely spoke on issues that we had in our community, and I think a lot of the shows, you know, definitely had stuff like that.
I'm gonna get a great job without him. I'm gonna marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm having me a whole bunch of kids. I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was. And I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids.
Sometimes I feel like sunny days.
Yeah, just the best way to explain it. I'm an artist. I do a lot of art, but my main focal point with art is music. It's probably like Martin, Living Color, stuff like that. Living Single. Yes, Living Single used to be my own joint right there. Yeah, it's a different type of humor. Cause I mean, what's funny to black people might not be funny to white people and vice versa. Like I watch some white sitcoms and some of their jokes I don't get, cause you know that's not really my culture, so I don't really get their jokes. Like sometimes watching, they do talk about racial relations in America here and there. Like they do sometimes.
What's going on here? Can I help you, sir? I'm Henry Firth. Good news, Mr. Firth. Your car is safe and sound, and we've got the perpetrators.
Those aren't the perpetrators. Those are my partner's son and nephew.
Partner?
Legal partner.
So some of the things that I took was Uncle Phil being that father figure for Will. And I know a lot of people who haven't had that father. It gave you something to look up to, an expectation to hold. And some of the values that, you know, Will learned during that show, because he had to grow up, man. He's that kid from Philly coming over to California and this new family, new surroundings. He has to grow up, and he learns a lot of life lessons.
My name is Wilcher Spikes, originally from Montgomery County, Georgia, staying in Savannah for the past 40 years. Most of the time, my favorite shows was really westerns, but there was also some other shows on TV that you can call black shows that we had a chance to watch, such as JJ on Good Times and 227 and some other shows that was on TV. I can't really remember her names now, whether it was Willona, I think was the latest name on Good Times. That was, most of the guys that I knew had a little crush on her. A lot of the times they would make you upset because of what you saw, but the shows inadvertently most time had a positive ending. It would show how the people on the shows would overcome whatever obstacles they ran into, so they had a positive effect.
600, 700, 800,
$900. And 10% for his manager. Oh, it gonna be like that, my brother? After you done had me up in your house.
Well, let this be a lesson to you. Don't mess with my boy again. You mess with him, you messing with me.
Thank you all for watching, and hopefully this is a reminder for you all on how important black sitcoms really are in the society.